Hey, welcome back to another great edition of GEM Class Recruitment Report. Today, we are taking an in-depth look at the ins and outs of collegiate staffs and highlighting some other key individuals you may meet in your recruitment process. We're going to start with the on-field staffs. These are the people who can actively coach you at practice and in the games. Each team, of course, has a head coach. Then there are typically 10 assistant coaches who make up the coordinators, offensive and defensive position coaches, and special teams coaches. Then you have up to 4 graduate assistants. These are no more than 10 years removed from their undergraduate degree and are pursuing a master's degree. They are also permitted to coach on the field. At some levels, there are less than 10 assistant coaches, and graduate assistants may coach a position group themselves. The largest schools may have a staff of analysts. Analysts break down film, scout opponents, and help build the game plan. They are not permitted to actually coach in the field and are subject to penalties if caught doing so. We should discuss how staff makeup affects recruiting. There are basically 2 schools of thought on this. Some schools recruit based on position. That is, the quarterback coach evaluates quarterbacks, decides who he wants to recruit and sign, and then tries to go get them. When the calendar allows school visits, he is going to go evaluate as many quarterbacks as he can. The coordinator may be involved as well, and it is this way for each position. This is most common for a school that recruits regionally. You rarely see it from a team that recruits the whole country. On the other hand, some schools conduct area-based recruiting. In this model, coaches function like scouts in the NFL. They are expected to know all the recruitable players in their territory. They then share information with the relevant position coaches and decide who to target. As the process continues and the prospects get closer to signing day, the position coach becomes more involved. This strategy is also the most time and resource efficient. It gives the recruit 2 points of contact, an area coach and a position coach, to build a relationship with. This is important to cover because it's a common question. I'm a running back. Why is the defensive line coach talking to me? Probably because you reside in his area. Get to know him and then ask him to connect you to your position coach as well. One rising trend we have seen is greater involvement in recruiting from recruiting analysts. A number of schools are having these folks operate as relationship builders with prospects. Whether it's an analyst or even an area coach communicating with you, sooner or later you want to be in contact with the position coach. This is the guy you'll spend the most time with, and you want to be confident that he wants you there.
The same is true for the head coach. It is ultimately his program, his philosophies, his standards. So to put yourself in a position to succeed, you want to make sure he is on board and wants you there. It's also worth noting that at least in the FBS, head coaches cannot go on the road in the spring and visit high schools, only in the fall and winter periods.
Now, let's cover some of the support staff you may meet on visits to campus. Strength and conditioning is an area you will spend a lot of time in, more than with the on-the-field coaches during some parts of the year. Make sure you are comfortable with them and that they have goals for you individually. Strength training is moving away from a one-size-fits-all approach. They should be able to help you individually maximize your potential. Other training staff is also important. These are the people that will handle your physical health and, in some cases, your emotional and mental health as well. Make sure they have a good system in place and connect well with the coaching staff. Some programs have a nutrition staff. If so, this would be a great person to visit with and ask questions. Sometimes this role falls under the strength staff or the training staff and often serves all sports, not just football.
Equipment staff is another big one. Again, build a good relationship with these folks, as they are the ones who can take care of you, get you that new pair of gloves or things that you need, and keep you well equipped. The operations staff handles many of the administrative aspects: hotels, buses, food for road games, overseeing any updates and maintenance of the facilities, budgets, and more. A good person to know, he's usually the guy who can help you solve any problem you have as a player.
Then, moving a little bit outside the football program directly, there are some other people in the department you may interact with. The compliance office is responsible for connecting with the NCAA and making sure no one on campus is breaking rules. They sometimes are also a liaison to the broader campus, like for admissions, scholarship money, and more. Again, good people to know, but maybe not someone you would meet on a visit.
Then you have media relations. This would be the person that helps train and prepare you for interviews, sets up any press conferences, and is a general liaison to all reporters. Nowadays, this is very important. Since the potential for things to go viral is huge, make sure you are well prepared and reputable. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below or visit the Media Resources page on the right. Academic support staff can be housed within athletics in some cases. Make sure to ask about this and what resources the program has to help you be successful as a student. Lastly, more and more of your larger schools are adding staff related to name, image, and likeness.
In many cases, you will have an opportunity to meet professors while on a visit. If you know what you want to study, all the better. Let the coach know, and he will likely try to coordinate something for you. Your interaction with professors can tell you a lot about how athletics are perceived at the institution overall. Believe it or not, there is animosity in some places, so try to get a good feel for that. You will likely meet some university staff. Again, a good chance to judge the culture. If anyone from the administration pops up, a dean or even the president of the university, this can be a great sign they are truly interested in you and that the program has good support across the campus. You will deal with the admissions department at some point before enrolling, and it's important to note that coaches have very little control over who gets admitted to school. The standards are what they are, so make sure to give yourself the best chance to be admitted by putting in the necessary work. That is all we have for today, folks, and we hope you learned something from what we have discussed. As always, reach out to us at gemclassrecruiting.com if you have any questions. Have a great rest of your day, and we will be back next time with some great information on the February calendar and spring preparation.